pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could please remain standing for a moment of silence for Ann Chikonsky, former Clinton Public Schools teacher. Thank you. I'll bring to order the school committee meeting for Monday, August 25th, 2025. Get a motion to approve the bills, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you. We had a motion to approve the minutes from the August 11th, 2025 school committee meeting, please.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, great, thank you. Is there any public comment this evening? Being none, we'll close public comment. Anything from the CTA? You're welcome. PTA?
Of course.
Being nothing, that's great.
Oh, no, I have to speak now because you weren't here this morning.
Oh. Ooh.
Wow. Yikes.
Sorry, mic doesn't fall over or anything. So, good morning, afternoon, evening. I do not know what time it is. And for all of you who are here this morning, bless your hearts. It's been a long day. So we've kicked off 2025-26. We currently have 34 members logged into our GiveBacks database, but we have a lot of paperwork to process from this morning, which none of us have touched. So we will do that and hopefully have an increase on that topic. Bill, I'd like you to personally to be a member, and Jane, I'd love to invite you as well. Thank you.
Is this just passive bullying, or is this?
No.
Did they go over bullying today in the opening comments of the day? No?
No, and had I been able to actually speak at this morning's thing, when Becky decided she would do it anyway, I just would like to reiterate that Dr. Meyer was the first person to join
I heard that.
PTA for this year, which was really nice.
Congratulations, Dr. Burr.
And a shout out to Jenna Crafty for being number 2. Because we thought it was a teacher and you did win. So there you go. We had a successful morning this morning. It was over in a blink of an eye, even though most of you probably were still doing stuff afterwards. Great speech this morning, by the way. Yeah. Aside from calling out your family, it was very nice. My daughter avoided the microphone at all costs. So sponsorship and membership is open. It is a continuous thing, so businesses and individuals can support us through the membership sponsorship. We are not doing fall bingo. We do not have a calendar for this year. Those are the ways to support PTA and then get into our newsletter on our Facebook page and be involved in events that way. Let's see. I met with Christy. We had an hour chat in her office, and I have to say about 45 minutes of it had nothing to do with the CPS website. But I did learn a lot about the history of some of the PTA stuff, which was amazing. If you have not checked out some of the Greenlight Studios archives, go do that. Search LipDub and see some great history. Okay. You'll recognize a lot of friends who are here now, which was really kind of cool for some of us who have only been a part of the school district for a couple years. And it was great to see that kind of extra attitude that we sometimes have, and it did exist before us. So it was kind of cool to see. Tomorrow we're doing the CTA luncheon with Ms. DeSessa, and we will partnership with her with that. The Booster Glow Run is opening registration on August 27th. We'll have an additional newsletter and a Facebook update when that is ready to go. The Scholastic Book Fair will take place during Old Home Day, Saturday, September 6th from 12 to 5. We are looking for volunteers for that. It's a quick span, 12 to 5, honestly. I mean, even an hour of register help is awesome. And our first meeting will be October 2nd, 6:15 at the CPS offices on School Street. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We made it through. I think this is the longest day of the year, is it not? I think.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
all your
so much.
support.
Thank you.
Anything this evening from CPAC or LPAC? No? Okay. Floor is yours, Dr. Meyer.
All right. A couple quick staffing updates. Since our last meeting, we hired 2 ABA IAs, Mary Beth Ramos and Desiree Tincati. Actually met with a third one this afternoon, who was also signed on board. And with that, we are fully staffed. So we have all of our positions filled. Just going into the opening of school, obviously, you kind of heard, we had the opening of school today. Everyone came back. I think it went pretty well. We didn't have any major issues going around the buildings. Things seem to be pretty smooth. You know, it's normal stuff. I saw the fire chief and the building inspector were going around today. There were just some little things they pointed out, just minor things, but just all that stuff we want to get taken care of. Excited for the start of the school year, and we'll get going. In your packet, the one thing I did include, and I can't remember if I put this in, I don't think I gave this to you before or not, but there is a drawing of the middle school traffic pattern, just so we did send that out in an email to parents. So the parent loop is reopened. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of tight, but we practiced by driving a bus around it, and the bus got through. So, so that's all set to go. They got some new striping and crosswalk areas marked off in the parking lot. So we're hoping that that should all go there. I know they've started putting a lot of the fencing up on top of the Jersey barriers. There's supposed to be a screen that'll go across that, so hopefully they'll have that up by Wednesday. And you know, we'll see how it goes. They are willing to, you know, we did have a meeting to go over this a couple weeks ago, and with the police and everybody, and you know, they're willing to respond. So if we say something's not quite working, they can go right out there. They'll move Jersey barriers. They'll do whatever we need to do. So right now we'll try this and see what happens. And you know, they said it can be as simple as, like, if something doesn't work in the morning, they can probably get someone there to move a Jersey barrier by the afternoon. You know, so they're on site. They can do that. So we'll go from there. But otherwise, like I said, I think it was a pretty good opening today. Probably the biggest hiccup was my technology blunder, but that's okay. So we managed to overcome, and I'm looking forward to all the kids coming back. Although it seems like, I feel like with the freshman orientation and the sports and everything, it just feels like we're kind of back in the swing of it today. So it'll be good to get the school year off officially on Wednesday. One of the things that we did go over this morning was some of the technology updates we've made. So tonight we have Chris Tahan here, our Director of Technology, to kind of go over a little bit of these summer projects and some of the changes. And he's not going to walk you through the technology plan page by page, but he has been putting this together with the tech department, sharing with the admin team. Just wanted to kind of get that in your hands. We're not looking for like a formal approval of it tonight, but if you have any feedback on it, certainly we can go from there. So go ahead, Chris.
Good evening.
Hey, Chris.
Hello. So yeah, we're back. Super exciting. The summer went by pretty quick. I feel like we got a lot done. I just wanted to start with some boring infrastructure upgrades. So our elementary school, which has kind of been lagging behind in speed the last couple of years, we were able to quadruple their speeds over the summer. So in real terms, they went from 500 megabytes to 2 gigs. We're also sharing that line with central office. So central office was at like 50 megs, so now it's lightning fast, which not only helps, obviously, our staff at central office, but the adult ed program and other things going on in that building as well. And then we also tied together the field house at the athletic fields with the high school and middle school. So now we're pumping about 4 gigs of speed into that field house. So, and that's again for future expansion, if the budget allows, to be able to throw some outdoor wireless access points and kind of light up that field. So this summer we were able to procure new student Chromebooks for our grade 9, so they'll get them on Wednesday. We're also able to procure some iPads for our special education department. So not that it's been a real issue in the past, but after a need is identified, then it's like, okay, a purchase order's or quote's created, a purchase order's created, and then before you know it, it's 2 weeks, and then the student gets the device. So we were able to kind of backfill both our licensing for some of the programs that these students need and the iPads. So we're hoping this year, if we estimate it correctly, that there really should be no overlap, meaning we identify a need, we're able to get the iPad in the students' and staff members' hands that same day or that next day. And then we also did a big upgrade this summer at CES. So out of the 60 or so staff devices we purchased, 50 of them ended up going to the elementary school teachers. So we wanted to make a big push there just because of not only the size of that staff, but also the size of the amount of IAs they have. So trying to cycle devices and try to get our general ed teachers and some of our special teachers some better technology. I don't know if you've heard, but we're trying to go completely paperless back to school. So we opened that up last week, and we've seen some good results so far. We got about 40% of parents that have logged in and completed their back-to-school verification forms at the elementary school. We're at about 30% at the high school, and a little over 50% at the middle school. So those are promising numbers. Again, in years past, we wouldn't have any of this in right now because they'd be getting it the first day of school in paper form. So the fact that we have anything back, around a district, we're about 44-45% return. So that includes emergency contacts, medical information, sign-offs on handbooks, and other things like that. So good information. Now it's all stored in Infinite Campus, and we're able to kind of query that and throw that into reports and have all that information, for everybody to share if needed. We're also, again, just continuing all our integration with Google Classroom, with Clever, with all our online assessments. So I think we're ready to go for Wednesday when everybody comes back. I know the 3 schools like to do their initial assessments that first week or two when the students come back. So everything looks promising for that. And we've also continued this summer pushing our SentinelOne cybersecurity software on any remaining PCs, laptops, MacBooks that we had in the district. Dr. Meyer touched upon it this morning with staff, but we are pushing, I talked about it in the past with the school committee, multi-factor authentication. I think we gave some great reasons why they should do it. I checked today, we have about 60 staff members that have done it over the last 24 hours, so actually mostly the last 12 hours, so that's a good sign. Again, that just keeps their accounts safe, other accounts safe, and I think it's going to limit some of the phishing attacks that we've seen in the district over the last couple of years. We did have a network audit in May through our cybersecurity firm. I gave us a B-. That's what he gave us, but I'm still, he was C+ B-. We have another audit in the fall. The reason for the B- is we did have a number of rogue devices on our network they could be security cameras, they could be old computers that were plugged in the wood shop that have been plugged in for 16 years and nobody knew it was there. So this summer we kind of went around and were able to compile all of them together and either put the cybersecurity software on or actually pull them off our network. So we're hoping for some better results in the fall. Any questions so far? I got one more quick subject. So plans for upcoming for this year. So we are looking to continually make our scores and our assessments localized all in one place. So this year we're looking to integrate some of the assessments that the schools do, whether that's iReady, IXL, or STAR testing, and actually migrate those into our LMS in Google Classroom. So not that it counts as like a test score or quiz score, but it's actually going to be visible all in one place. And then with the Google Classroom tools and the AI and the Gemini that's built into it, they might be able to kind of track trends and better, with their curriculum that they're providing every day in the classroom versus the, 3 or 4 times a year that the students are taking those assessments. So that's something we're working on. We signed a new 5-year deal with T-Mobile in May of this past year, so we are able to offer students that are in need 5G mobile hotspots for free for the next 5 years. So we have a contract through 2030, so that's no cost to the district, so that was great to extend that for another 5 years. We are making a high priority this year to make sure not only the website continually is updated, but the calendar is up to date. So we do have a district calendar in which the building principals, the admin team, and all the building secretaries are all on. So we're going to kind of use that and just pound out as many events that we can up on the calendar and keep the public up to date on what's going on in the schools. Then the other stuff is just some capital purchases that we're looking to do in next budget cycle for next year. Things through E-rate. We have some configuration changes and some hardware switches we need to do between the middle school and high school to get ready for the new school system and them demolishing the old CMS school. Some upgraded phone system bids and some clock and PA systems at the elementary school. So that's things we're looking forward to for this school year. And then Dr. Meyer mentioned you should have a technology plan that we've been working on over the last year or so. In years past, like technology plans were like heavily equipment-based. You know, I remember presenting one like 10, 12 years ago, and I was like, the high school is now 30% covered for wireless internet, and like everyone thought that was amazing. And if I said that to you today, I'd be fired. But again, that was only 10, 12 years ago, and it shows you how far we've come, where the focus of this technology report is, it is focused on equipment, but a lot of it is on digital citizenship and the use of AI and the use of data and the use of analytics and public outreach and goals that we have and personalized learning through the use of technology. So it's very different because even though we need to maintain and continue to upgrade our hardware and equipment in the schools, those goals of being 100% covered, or every student having a device, or every teacher having a device, or every teacher having a projector or interactive TV, like we've reached those goals. Now we're just maintaining those goals. Now we're focused on, you know, the use of AI, how social media interacts with technology, how it interacts with the schools, how we can better communicate, how we can better teach our students the proper ways to use technology. So not the easiest thing to write, but again, look over. Feel free to send me a note if you want, and constructive criticism I love, so let me know. And then maybe at a future date we can talk about it a little bit more in detail.
You know, if I revisit that, one of the next scheduled technology updates later in the late fall, early winter, I think.
I just have one question, and forgive me if I have the timing wrong or I missed an update somewhere along the way and I'm not remembering. I feel like a year ago, maybe or so, we were trying to digitize and migrate IEPs and 504s digitally. That came with a hiccup. We decided to back off that because it was in the best interest of the district at that point in time.
Yep.
Do we have a move forward plan on digitizing those documents? Has that been done and I just missed it?
Yeah, so we are doing it. We're just still doing it through eSped, which was the provider beforehand. But the goal of collaboration within eSped and then taking that IEP and then digitally sending it to the parents or guardians for approval, revisions, I accept, I decline, these are the reasons. We're doing that all through DocuSign.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
So the whole paperless, you know, the signatures and all that, all those, you know, parents of today don't get to do the lovely form filling out when you have
Yeah.
multiple children. Is there like helpline or something that a parent could call if they're, either they don't have the technology available to them or whatever to be able to fill it out, or?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we do have an email that's dedicated to that. You know, Christy LaPerle and I both look at that email. We try our best to get back to everybody as fast as we can. To me, it's sometimes too, it's about timing, because we're trying to time the release of the forms with sending out like activation codes for parents that don't have maybe an online portal, and then, you know, after that all settles, okay, who's still struggling, and let's reach out to them, let's coordinate their email, we'll get them a password, and we'll help them navigate through that. But yeah, it's, you know, over the last, parents we had just posted the forms last week, and Dr. Meyer's email hadn't even gone out yet saying they were available, and we had like 40 done within the first like 20 minutes.
Oh,
That's great.
And like we were getting emails from even staff members that have students in the district saying, hey, this link is broken. And we're like, well, we just posted it. Like, I was going through it to make sure everything looked good, and they didn't give us enough time, you know, so So, yeah, I'm very, very happy. I think in years past, I think I've come like, oh, 50% of parents have portal accounts, and 60% now. We're at 86% right now of at least one student or a student having at least one parent with a portal account. So we're down to about 14%. And again, I haven't looked at that number over the last week, but that number is much higher. But yeah, to answer your question, we do have a dedicated email that is shot out by the building principals, by Dr. Meyer, by myself, and we try to be as responsive as we can to
And
it.
I think a lot of times too, we try to usually remind people of that on like the open house nights and that type of stuff, and maybe have like family outreach available. Sometimes our family liaisons can help, particularly if there's any type of language barrier that could be hindering the ability to do that too.
Okay.
Yep. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, some more building updates. In your packet is the revised committee. We sent this to the MSBA each year, kind of following elections and everything. We just try to kind of update it just to make sure that once the new boards have appointed their committee. So we had a few changes on here this year. And we will, so we'll continue to just work off of that. The groundbreaking ceremony is scheduled for September 5th. That is next Friday from 11 to 12. So we've been working on finalizing that program, getting the speaking and the arrangements going. Matt, I think you and I talked about you probably not having a school committee speaker, I believe.
Not if you're gonna have those other, like,
Yeah.
half a dozen or so folks. I don't
Yeah.
know that it really makes a lot of sense for
Okay.
us to have to worry about that.
Okay. And then we will have, we do have a representative from the MSBA speaking, Senator Cronin's office, Meg Kilcoyne's office, Representative Kilcoyne's office. I think Julie Pruce is going to say some things for the selectmen, so there'll be a lot of speakers.
And you're speaking as well, right?
Yeah,
So you're
I'll
gonna
be doing
represent the
like,
schools
I'll
anyway.
be doing kind of the welcoming, and Tyler will do brief remarks with some students. So we'll get that set up. It'll be down in the corner, kind of near the construction entrance, sort of right in front of the school. So we'll kind of have the stage, we're going to probably put the graduation stage there, kind of on the sidewalk with some chairs in the driveway, or in the parking lot, and the sound system so that when you're facing the podium, you kind of see the construction site in the background. And we'll go from there. Our rain plan, it would be just to move the speaking component to the inside in the gym, and then we would just go from there. So, I was kind of already working on some remarks, and it's like, clearly we've already broken a lot of ground. This is more just sort of ceremonial so that we can thank all the people that helped get us to this point. So, and our next meeting, I think right now it is the 17th is what they're shooting for. It was originally going to be September 9th, but I think that there was a request to push it back so that we could get the bills are getting a lot bigger now, and there's a lot more backup for them, so the request was to get that documentation to the committee prior to, earlier, so they could review it more thoroughly. So they wanted to push it back probably to the week after, and the 16th, but the 16th, we already have another permanent building committee meeting for the library projects. I believe it's going to be Wednesday, the 17th, will be the school building committee. And I think that's all I have.
Great. Okay, under the chairperson's report for this evening, Kelly, thanks for listing all the new advisory committee arrangements. I know we have a safety committee meeting on the 3rd.
Yep.
But I think we could probably start thinking about when we want to start the other subcommittee meetings up again. I know with like marketing as an example, I think we used to pick like whatever it was, like we picked a Monday
used to start
within
it
the
off,
month
we
that we
picked-
come a little earlier.
Yep.
So if that works, Tina, for us, we could probably do that again. And then we'll round up and get together and just make sure, I would say the goal should be, from a subcommittee perspective, let's get a first meeting on the books between now and say, like, end of September, just so we're kind of kicking off the year, unless there's something, Steve, that is specific that should wait, based upon your opening of school, things you're kicking off, and if there's certain subcommittees where it makes sense to wait, then I'll look to you for direction on that.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, September sometimes goes by pretty quickly with all the other things, so maybe more like probably
October-ish?
mid-October.
Sure.
But we'll get something on
Yep.
the books pretty soon, yeah, so we have it going. At least get everything scheduled by then.
No, that'd be great. I know safety usually comes with the opening of schools anyway.
Probably the one action item we have tonight is the negotiations one. So we do have the IA-MOA in your packet. The IAs had a union meeting today. At the end of the day, they did approve the MOA. So if the school committee approves it, we can move forward with that agreement. We should be able to make the changes for the first payroll.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the MOA with the IAs.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Awesome.
I'm going to abstain,
Yeah.
and just to be clear, I have no problem with it, it could be a conflict, so anybody think I have any problem with it?
All right.
I'll just say, it's really not under advisory committees as much as just because under facilities. I did have an opportunity to talk with Brian Farragher. I think I called him on like a Tuesday in the morning and wanted to set the schedule for walkthroughs of the different buildings and the facilities. And within that same hour and a half or so, I had talked to Jane, I had talked to Brendan, and Brian's like, let's do them today. So we all were able to get together and cover, I don't know, 4 buildings and the grounds within a couple of days, so those have all been done. Everything looked great. I specifically was at the high school, but everything's, ready to go, and the building was in great shape. I think, we had heard some buzzing from the Tina's old buzzing sound in the auditorium that we were like, what's that buzzing sound? They figured out what that was, and that's a fix that's coming, so it's great. But ultimately, I think, we had the report the previous meeting from Brian. I think Brian does a great job, right? He notifies us, he keeps us in the loop of the projects that are going on. We always have a readout of what's in flight and what's planning for the future, and sort of what he's doing to work with the town to make those things happen for the staff and for the kids. So overall, I thought they went really well, but I'll defer to my colleagues for the walkthroughs they did if there's anything specific that they wanted to talk about, but we did get those done this week.
Just as a sidebar, Mr. Chairman, I've taken it upon myself to try to visit the 5th facility of the school department on a weekly basis. I take a walk through on the project.
Great.
The superintendent has been very gracious and given me every courtesy I need to get around and just keep eyes on things, and very professional management of the project.
That's great, and valuable for us, for sure. I mean, we want to make sure we're getting everything that we had hoped is in a project as large as it is, so it's great. Perfect. Awesome. Anything under old business? Anything under new business? Nothing under new business, okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Good. All right.